Yo, what's up? We're on live. Here we go. Episode 116. Oh, here we go. Let's do it. Yeah. Come on in. Happy Monday. All right. Come on in. Oh boy. Letting it roll. And that's how that goes. Hey, everybody. Oh, my records are dirty. How are you? Welcome. I'm Cardone. This is Evening Hour, episode 116. What's up? Sisters in the house. Jason, Amanda. There's some Arrogant Media. Do I know you, Arrogant Media? I don't know people's names anymore. If you're new, say hi. And I just realized my camera's a little crooked. Oh my gosh, look at how crooked my camera is. Let me see if I can adjust this. Oh, there we go. Did that work? Huh. Test 1, 2. Oh. Wow. Let me know if that did anything weird. I'm curious. I just adjusted my camera. 1. Is the sync off? I can't tell. Let me check one thing. Alright, we're good. Anywho, I'm looking at my camera. It looks crooked. That's driving me nuts. I've got a great show tonight. Yes, I'm going to talk about the Oscars. Please come on in. Alright, I have to adjust this camera. It's going to bug me out. Hold on. Much better. I don't know what... I don't adjust anything, and yet everything moves around in the computer land, which is weird. I don't quite understand. Oh, yeah, right? See? It's weird how everything just gets shifted, and I honestly don't move anything. Wow, come on in, folks. I got lots to say, lots to do. If you are new, please read underneath the description, because it's got rules on how to win mystery boxes. And I'm going to tell you right now, whoever gets the next mystery box, there's going to be some cool stuff in it. I have some Toilet Boys stuff, like patches, and I have a t-shirt, and look at this giant Toilet Boys bandana. I'm going to give away. It's most likely going in the next mystery box. So I don't know who that would be. Yeah, Dan P, what up, brother? Come on in. I got lots to say. Lots to say. The subject tonight, I have a lot to say about. But honestly, I did not want to do an entire episode on Hollywood's nonsense. But I do have things to say about it, which I will in a second. I don't know about y'all, but our weather here is terrible right now. I got the bug for spring, and unfortunately, it went to winter. 2 days ago, it was very warm out, and now it's freezing. What's up, Ruth? I will, Ruth, tonight be talking about Hollywood a little bit here, very soon. Yeah. I gotta do it. I can't not say anything. I predicted that. I mean, honestly, I made a post yesterday about the anointed ones fluffing each other's egos on TV, and then we had what happened yesterday happen, which I thought was pretty amusing. On a few different levels, which I'll talk about. Yeah, tonight, I picked a couple subjects that kind of tie in together. Yeah, Amanda, it's terrible out, right? New York City right now is cold. We did have some flurries. Ah, Jason, where are you? I always forget where some people are. Ruth's on the West Coast. We had snow. We had a little bit of snow. Yeah. It's going to be April and snowing. All right, let's get into this subject. Let's start talking. I'm not bullshitting anymore. Let's talk about last night. So, we've all seen it. We all know what happened. Chris Rock made a joke as the MC. Will Smith bugged out and slapped him and then had a tantrum, screamed and yelled, and then kind of apologized after he won his award, right? Oh, you're in Wyoming. Wow. Beautiful. I've been through there. It is beautiful. I know. It's hard not to, right, Ruth? It's impossible. So I watched it from many different points of view. I watched it and thought about it from the point of view of Will Smith. I also thought about it and did a thought experiment if I was the MC. And I tried to pretend as if I was a nobody MC or a celebrity MC, right? I really did try to think about it from different angles, which is what most people don't do these days. But I really do try to. And I don't assume anybody's right or wrong anymore on anything. I try to see the whole thing and then just put my place in it where I feel the most comfortable, right? And productive. So let's look at it from... Because I noticed some details in the video that some of y'all might not have... I don't know why I keep saying y'all tonight like I'm from the South. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, and we don't say y'all, we say yins. So I don't know what yins... I don't know why I'm saying... I noticed some things that I'll bring up in a second. The incense is kicking tonight. Fred Saul incense. So, Chris Rock made a joke about Will Smith's lady. And I'm going to be honest. I'm not familiar. Okay, so Chris Rock, if you said name a movie he's in, I can't name a movie. I know he's a comedian. He was on Saturday Night Live. I've seen him. I know who he is. Is he funny? Sure. I don't know. I've never sat and watched a whole special. Oh yeah, here we go. He laughed at the jokes. Oh, I know. Wait, you're right. Oh yeah, he did laugh until yeah. So Will Smith too. I didn't watch Fresh Prince. Didn't watch it. I saw episodes. Jazzy Jeff, DJ Fresh Prince, could have cared less. I lumped that into the MC Hammer categories. I was already into punk rock and heavy metal, and that stuff didn't do it for me. So, have I seen Will Smith movies? Lots. Do I like them? They're fine. Am I a crazy Will Smith fan? No. I could give a shit. Don't care. So, I don't have a game, and I'm not a fan of any of these performers. I don't hate them at all. I actually have nothing bad to say about either performer, right? And I don't know any backstory, right? So, Chris Rock makes a joke about G.I. Jane, which is a movie about a woman trying to be a Navy SEAL, the first female Navy SEAL, and how hard it is, right? Have I seen that movie? No, but I do know they paint her in a good way, right? But she shaved her head. So Will Smith's lady's there with her shaved head, and he goes, oh, I'm looking forward to see G.I. Jane 2. Now, she has the disorder alopecia, the one where you're allergic to your own hair. When I was in high school, we had twin brothers that had alopecia. And I remember them. I didn't know them, but I remember hearing stories about it. And he was a Scientologist, Will Smith. Didn't know. That says a lot. So, it also means he's a player, meaning he might have done it for business reasons, which I'll get to. Yeah, I don't know anything about Will Smith. Now I do. So, alopecia, the disorder where you lose your hair, you're allergic to your own hair. It doesn't kill you. You just lose your hair. You lose your eyebrows and whatnot, right? Yeah, you just see Will Smith. Right. He's too famous, right? That's what arrogant media, that's what I would call that is you're just too famous, right? You're beyond characters at this point. So, did he know that she had alopecia? I don't know. Does it matter? If I'm a comedian and I know someone's wife has a disorder, I'm probably not going to make fun of that disorder. I don't know. I can't say. But let's just say he didn't know. And he made that joke. And yeah, okay, whoops. Let's say he did know and made the joke. Either or, let's keep moving, right? But that could be part of it. He didn't know or he did know. That could be an equation, which we can maybe find that out. Okay. So the mom had an affair with their son's friend. All right, so she sounds like a piece of work too. I mean, that's a little awkward, right? Super awkward. Like, wow. Ah, interesting. Well, so I'm going to get to this. Okay. Okay. Whatever. It's not it's not cancer. Alopecia is not cancer as far as I know, right? It's like exactly, whatever. All right, so let's look at it from Will Smith now. This is what I see studying body language. There's a few moments. So he's sitting there in the front row, and of course, being in the front, you know you're going to be on camera, and they must place certain people certain ways for certain reasons, right? Okay. So, well, Amy Schumer to me is not a real comedian. Someone paid for her to become a comedian. She's kind of to me I can't watch her stuff. Some of these comedians to me are hacks, meaning it's like a magician that only buys gadgets and hires consultants to come up with everything for them. They're not a magician in my point of view. So Will Smith's sitting there. He hears the joke about G.I. Jane. He laughs, looks over. She ain't so happy. The next thing is he walks up, slaps him. And, okay, so the walk looks kind of just deliberate. The slap, when I first saw it, it looked fake. It looked rehearsed. Now, I'm not saying that this is fake yet. Hold on. I have thoughts on that, too. Because everybody's like, it's fake or it's not fake. And it can be both, which I'll explain. So, yeah. Oh, right. They place them so they can walk up easy. So, he walks up, he slaps him hard enough to make his head snap. So, you know it was a hard slap, but it was open-handed. Can't tell right away. I thought he hit him at first. Swat! Now, the key thing to look for, which I've yet to hear anybody comment on this, is watch the second clip of him walking back to his seat. It's kind of like deliberate with a kind of a smirk. Now, let's rewind, okay? Everybody remembers the guy that played Kramer when he did his infamous N-word explosion. We all remember. It's a very interesting thing to study because if you watch it, he gets heckled. He then thinks quickly that he's going to shock the audience into submission by doing a, quote, Lenny Bruce bit. You can see it. I've debated people on this one. So he yells the N-word out to shock everybody, and then the cleanup is, ooh, did I offend everybody? Right? He even says it in the video. And then it doesn't get a laugh. So it backfired. So in that moment, he decided to take a crazy risk, throw the N-word out to shock everybody into submission, and then comment socially on what the N-word means and try to ring it back in a Lenny Bruce fashion. We've all seen that Dustin Hoffman scene in the Lenny Bruce movie where he yells out the N-word and then every other racial slur right after to prove a point. Now, I don't like to use that kind of stuff to prove any point, but I do think there are artists that can pull it off. Not everybody, and not the guy from Seinfeld. Because what does he do when it doesn't work? He doubles down. It's what people do when they get caught. When they get caught lying, they double down. And so Will Smith, smirkingly walking back from his, quote, joke. Meaning I think he thought it was going to be kind of an over-top way to deal with the problem. His wife's mad. He thought the joke was funny. I'm going to over-the-top walk up and slap him. This is what it looks like to me. And to me, the answer is his walk back. He has this like smirky kind of walk back to his seat. And then when I think the reality hits him that what just happened is kind of over the top and no one laughed at him slapping him, he doubles down. And that's where it gets gross and ugly with the yelling. To me, that's the part where you're like, ugh. Now, so that happened. Was the joke heard before? Supposedly it wasn't. He didn't say it in rehearsal. So it was a new, spontaneous, reactive decision to, like actors do. I mean, I know a lot of actors. I've lived with them. I was one of them. They overreact to things to make points. It's what they do for a living. They take giant leaps and bounds in an overtly over-the-top fashion, and then sometimes have to pull it back. So here it is. His wife's offended. He doesn't really give a shit, but he's going to over-the-top go up and do this bit. It backfires, and then he screams and screams and has a meltdown, just like the guy did in the Seinfeld bit. He got caught. You can even hear it in the Seinfeld, what's his name? I don't even remember. Michael something. The Seinfeld guy literally goes, "Ooh, are you offended?" He says it he's trying to do the Lenny Bruce bit. You can hear it. Well, he was in character in the yelling. He was. Yes, I think so. Like, is he a racist? He could be. I don't know, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. In that moment, he's yelling a racist thing to try to, quote, make a weird point. Totally doesn't work. Backfires. And as he doubles down, because what else are you going to do? You can be like, yeah, that joke didn't work. Sorry, folks. I was trying to do a Lenny Bruce bit. Didn't work. Sorry. Not a racist. Sorry, black guy, for offending you and anybody else who I offended. He would never have done that. So he doubles down. He starts acting more racist. You know, it's a Michael Richards. Thank you, Ruth. And to me, that's what that is. You can clearly see it. To me, this new one is very similar. It's an overreaction. And then when you realize the overreaction that you took, the risk, backfired, you double down again. And then it gets worse. So when he made his speech, when he won, I saw he actually said some things that I thought were funny. He mentioned that he basically said he's a messiah, you know, to love people and to protect people and to be a river for people. And I mean, this is why I don't like Hollywood, is I really think they know that they're vapid and that other people think they're vapid. And so it kind of hurts them that they're paid so much money to do such meaningless things that they have to overcompensate. And that's where they get very gung-ho behind certain causes. Now, my problem with Chris Rock, I haven't gotten to him yet. Chris Rock won't press charges, and I don't think I would have either. I do think, I am shocked that no one did anything. No one said anything. The Academy wasn't like, you can't, randomly hit people. I would have thrown him out. I mean, you just can't do that. Now, let's rewind. I think Chris Rock is garbage too. Not for the joke, but his handling of the aftermath. If he's going to if you're a comedian and you're throwing jokes out and you're getting heckled, you have to not just stop it, you have to command it. You have to overtake it. Now, I know he's the host of a show that's bigger than him, but he's the host. He is the MC, right? So, you got to own it. He didn't own it. He had a little funny line about this is the most amazing night in TV. But, so, I'm on stage at Slipper Room, and when somebody heckles me, the first thing I do is ignore it. The second thing I do is I yell at them really quick. And I mean, if it's in a nightclub, I go for the jugular quick. And I won't say the F-bomb, but I go, yo, shut the F up. Like, really, shut, like, I'll kill you right now. I get kind of scary, violent, really quick, in such an over-the-top manner that the audience usually laughs. Because right away. If it continues, now I get the audience to do it. I go, can you please tell this person to shut up and that they're ruining the show? And then that's it. I'm done. That's it. If the audience likes me, they take over. Well, I mean, mean is fine. Unfunny's not fine. Yeah, I mean, that's it. They have bad... Dude, Amy Schumer is not funny and never has been. I swear, I'll debate anybody on that. Her humor, not only is it all stolen jokes that her joke writers pretty much, I think, steal, but yeah, it's just very bad. And the politics, I don't like it, celebrities talking politics. I don't. We assume... Celebrities think they're smarter than everybody else. They do. I mean, it's kind of shocking. They're more cultured because they play different parts. I don't think so. It's one of the reasons why I quit acting. An actor plays the part of a plumber, and then all of a sudden they know everything about plumbers. They think they're a plumber, or a biker for that matter. So, Chris Rock, if somebody heckled me, and if somebody came up on stage and slapped me at anything I was ever performing, I would take it as a threat, tackle them, rip their eyes out, and stuff it in their mouth. I would attack back. There's no way I would get hit on stage and not retaliate in some fashion. I mean, that's shocking. To me, it's insulting that he didn't go a little like, hey, yo, like, this is how you behave after a joke? Like, this is crazy. This is such a line cross. And to me, the most shocking thing is nobody did anything. Everybody else just kind of sat. Like, eh. And then you'd think the Academy would be like, oh my God, we have to have an emergency meeting. An actor nominated went on stage and just smacked and yelled obscenities. That's it. You're out, bro. Out. I don't care who you are. Out. Done. Can't tolerate it. And then Chris Rock could have made some... I don't know. I think the way he handled it was lame. Now, as for chivalry purposes, I'm all for chivalry. If the love of my life just got insulted by somebody on stage, I don't know if I'd go up and just hit the guy right in front of everybody. I would definitely wait till the show's over and then beat him up in the parking lot. That's more my way. But honestly, he could have waited until... I was talking to my friend Pataki, who might be watching. What's up, brother? You know, Will Smith could have waited for his speech and then literally been like, yo, bro, if you had anything to say about my woman, you know, he could have said something that got him a big, like, wow. But he didn't. He reacted like all the dumb people that Hollywood makes fun of. There it was for all to see. And not only was it there for all to see, Chris Rock's afraid to say anything. The audience is afraid to say anything. The line producer's afraid to say anything. Everybody's just like, we're all anointed. What do we do? If you're anointed, you can't do anything. Because as soon as you go, now you're on the hot plate. Who are you to say something? So, for bad behavior. Yeah. Well, they might have. Yeah, I think Denzel stepped him aside and said, yo, but I don't know what they're talking about. They're probably helping him spin it so that when he did his speech. My friend Pataki pointed out, he blamed his character for his behavior. Like he was imitating the passion that his character had. I was like, you know, that's kind of what he was saying. Unbelievable. No backbone these people have. None. Now, I heard Will Smith apologized and he tweeted that he overreacted. Yeah. I'll say so. I'm wondering if they'll take away his award for this. It just seems like, hey, what's up, Ruby? And Fallon, hi. I really, Schumer will burn out. Yeah. Will could have taken his moment to invite. Yes, he could have, but they didn't. No one knew what to do because an anointed one stepped out of the line. And when that happens, it's just like, you know, what do? You have to kick them out. Because if you kick them out, you're going to have to start kicking out other people's for bad behavior too. So, Oh, yeah, they should be talking about it because it proved lots of things. At least for me, it did. I'm not on anybody's side. I think Will Smith is a loser, and I think Chris Rock is a loser. And I think the entire Academy are a bunch of losers. I think the whole thing is bad. If I was a Hollywood celebrity, I'd be embarrassed to be a part of that, to get your $50,000 gift bag. I mean, really, it's silly. It's silly. I have friends that are involved in that scene, and I don't know how they deal with it. I couldn't. Oh, right. You're right. Oh, Ruth, I get you now. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's really lame. They have a different set of values that they get to pick and choose how it's used, and then they have to dictate it on everybody else. It's sad. What else did I have to say about it before we... I mean, does anybody see how I described that? To me, that's what it looks like from Will Smith's point of view. It looks like him being a stupid actor, overreacting because he has to, because his wife's now freaking out. He doesn't know what to do, so he's going to use his acting, his trick, his thing, his over-the-top zaniness to deal with it. And then when he realized that was a bad decision, he doubled down with the screaming and yelling. Yes, exactly, Ruth. That's what it looks like to me. I want somebody to point out something I'm not seeing here. To me, that's what it looks like. And then Chris Rock, he's doing his job. He's doing a fine job. He says the joke. He gets hit, and then that to me is where it's over. If I'm trying to do my job as an entertainer and somebody tries to hit me or does hit me, I'm like, yo, here's the deal, folks. Y'all suck. The lead actor tonight gets to do this, and ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm out of here. I'm out. I'm not getting paid enough to get slapped on national TV by this goon. Yeah, you are a goon for you behaving the way you just did because of a joke. And then I would be like, folks, this is sad that this is what happens. Maybe he probably didn't know that she had a thing that made her bald. I mean, when I see somebody with their head shaved, I don't immediately assume that, I don't know, they might be a cancer patient or something. Who knows? I don't know. I hate this. I think they're all idiots. And the hypocrisy is pretty bad. So on that note, let's move. Yeah, they are untouchable. They don't live by the same rules. They don't. They have another set of rules. They can get in trouble and then they get away. They get off. If you're anointed, it doesn't matter anything. It doesn't matter. I mean, people like to say that, the legal system is racist. Well, maybe it is, but if you're rich, it's not. Even if you have dark-colored skin or light-colored skin. Because clearly, if you have friends in high places, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. It's all gone. It's all about cashola and anointment. Really, that's it. Because why does everybody keep their mouths shut? Because they don't want to lose the cash. And the only reason why they're getting the cash is because they've been anointed as, you're okay. We like you, but you have to, you gotta, head shave is a fashion statement. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even a great joke, right? It wasn't. G.I. Jane, I never even saw G.I. Jane. Who cares? I know nothing about that stuff. It is more for me, almost all of this is classist. For me, racism is under that as a category. It's not the top of the category. There's the class problem. That's it. And then they use these other tools to their advantage. And one of them is clearly a racist notion or a sexist notion or whatever. But they're tools for these people to foist their way, right? Well, here's something I wanted to talk tonight about, and this is, I guess, something completely different. I wanted to talk about a notion of role-playing games. Now, for those of you that don't play role-playing games, it might sound boring and stupid, but I think you're going to like this because I realized something about playing Dungeons and Dragons that's quite profound in what it is. And it's what makes role-playing games, RPGs, and when I say that, I mean analog, dice, D20, table, pencil, paper, right? That's what I'm talking about. Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of people don't even know what that means when you play it. They don't get it. But imagine you have a character with statistics, numbers that equate to your abilities, and you have items and whatnot, just like you would in a video game, except there's nothing there. It's just a sheet of paper. And then you have a storyteller who has a frame of a land, an area, a map, and you get to explore, quote, explore that area by talking. You explain what you want to do in that area, and the dungeon master tells you what you can do and see. And then you tell them what you want to do, and then the dice are used to see if things get pulled off. That's it. So I noticed something about it recently that kind of blew my mind. Something that it made me realize of why role-playing games, the style invented by Gary Gygax and Arneson, the people that invented Dungeons and Dragons, why that gaming experience is unlike anything ever on Earth. It's new. Nothing comes close to it. And I don't even think in ancient times they had anything that is about to come close to what I'm going to explain. So, I had a story I forgot to tell you about passivity. But anyway, so here's what's different about it. Does anybody know what mind palacing is? I've mentioned it on the show. It's the activity of where you're able to close your eyes and in your imagination, in your visual imagination, because some people can't do that. It's called aphantasia. It's the disorder of not having a mind's eye. Supposedly not that uncommon. I don't like talking about it because whenever I mention it, people realize they have it, and it's kind of a weird thing. I've seen it. I've seen people realize they kind of have it, and they're like, oh, wow, maybe I'm like that. It's like, well, you might be. It is what it is. So, mind palacing is using your imagination to imagine rooms in your mind, and in those rooms, you're able to store memories. So you'd be like, all right, the front door's brown. I can see it. I'm going to go in. And if I go to the door on the left, there's a square room. And in there, and then in that room, I can have things that I need to remember. A list of names. But it's a visual thing. And a room that I go to get that. And it's a technique for hardcore memory work. It's a way to utilize how our minds work to organize stuff so that you can access it like that. It'd be like being able to go read a book, just like closing your eyes and there it is, right? Our phones can do that. Our brains can too. So that is mind palacing. It's like having in your mind a palace with many rooms and you're able to go through. Now, supposedly, people that memorize crazy long lists of numbers and words, and they use these systems. So how does that deal with Dungeons & Dragons? Well, what I realized is happening in a Dungeons & Dragons game, and like tomorrow I'm going to be sitting this way, and there will be 9 people in this room playing Dungeons & Dragons. We will all, in the room, be doing one thing together. And this is why it's different. We will all be able, compartmentalizing psychology. I like that. We will all be, Oh yeah, Hero Quest. When you're playing RPGs, you are all mind palacing together in the same palace. It's group mind palacing. That's literally what it is. I have dungeons in my mind that I've run a year ago that if I mention it to somebody else that was in that dungeon, hey, do you remember that one room that had the stalagmites and the statue of the rat? They'll see it in their mind. They'll go, oh yeah, I remember that. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. There's no pictures of it. There's nothing written down except me talking about it. Yet, I was in that room. He was in the room. She was in the room. We were all in that room exploring it, and they can all explain what they saw. Now, their visions are going to be different of what they saw, but at the same time, it's exactly the same vision. There was a rat statue with bubbling water, right? Now, here's where it gets crazier. Because not only are we mind palacing together in the game, like, okay, I'm in this room, you're in the room, we're all in the room, we all imagine it. All the events that happen, wait, in the room, right now, you hear walking down the hall footsteps. The players are like, oh my God, is there anywhere to hide? No. So they're like, all right, we all go against the wall, the north wall, so when the person looks in the room, they don't see us, right? So I go, great. So you all run against the wall? Yes, great. You're against the wall. You hear the stopping. You hear the footsteps stop. And you see the head of what looks like some kind of a goblinoid creature that's about mid-sized, looks in, and he sees you. Everybody roll for initiative. So now there's going to be a fight. That actually happened not only in the Mind Palace, but in real time. In that moment of me describing it, it actually happened. Now they have to deal with it, right? So it's mind palacing in real time, which means the memories created in those moments in the group actually happened. Not here, in each mind. It's the ultimate virtual reality. There's nothing there, yet we're all sharing a virtual reality, participating in it in a real-time format. This is genius. Well, Ruth, we did film one once, and it's just not good unless I have better camera setups. I would love to do it. And yes, if you're ever around, you can come watch or join in. To me, this is why Dungeons & Dragons really is special. Right there, that little... And I did want to give a shout out. Somebody watching tonight. Yo, where are you, Neon? So I collect role-playing games. I only play a few. But a new one came out that I actually am going to play. I actually want to play it, not Dungeon Master it. Look at this book. Now, one of our viewers who's in here now put this out. Boosh. Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. Look at this. And the thing I love about this, I just got it less than a month, I think a month ago. It's a apocalyptic science fiction, primitive science fiction odyssey, using the old school Dungeons and Dragons rule systems, which is what I use mostly, DCC. But dude, look, the character classes are different. Look, you can play a unicorn, a bruticorn. Neon, excellent work here, folks. If you want a new RPG system that's easy to run, wacko, totally wacko. There's even sleaze as a stat in here. You get bonuses for being sleazy. The magic in here is cool. It's a really neat game. And I did roll up some characters. I want to play it. I don't want to dungeon master it, so I'm waiting. So here, someone said something cool. It says, I've played with new people before that forgot that they were even playing because they were so wrapped up in the story. Oh, yeah. Oh, Neon, you got it, brother. I'm impressed. This is a really great work. I mean, this is going to be around. People are going to dig this. It's over the top, easy to do. I love it. Yeah, I'll let you know when I start jamming this. I play Dungeon Crawl Classics. Oh, look, somebody just put this out. Look at this new rule book. Hellboy, the role-playing game. Fancy rule book. Yeah, it's not bad. It uses 5e as the rule set, which I'm not so into. But, you know, for a role-playing game, a Hellboy, yeah. I would do that. You got to let me know when you're doing online stuff. I would love to do it. Shoot me a message of what schedule you guys have. I will do online. Is it Zoom? I would love to play. I don't ever get to play. I'm always Dungeon Master. I love playing. So, the second thing I like about role-playing games, and this is something else I noticed. I had a friend of mine who created a role-playing game recently. I rolled up a character, and they were like, okay, what do you want to be? I was like, what do you mean? Like, well, you could be an elf, a human, a dwarf. You can be whatever you want. Oh, I don't have to roll for it? No, you get to pick everything. I didn't want to pick anything. Now, the person that was there was like, well, I think they were under the assumption that it's more fun to pick your own character traits and what you are. And I'm coming from the place where the actual opposite is more fun. Meaning, when I play in Dungeon Master, I want my players to have random characters. The only thing they get to pick is the name and their alignment, their moral code. That's it. The class, the race, the statistics, all random. You might have a really strong guy who's dumb. You might have a really smart guy who is a wimp. You might have a guy who's a massively built, muscular man who's also a mad genius. I don't know. But whatever you get, you got to deal with. And that's why the game's fun. To me, it mirrors life. You get a hand of cards, and then everybody gets to watch you deal with this hand of cards, you know? And so I prefer the random stuff more than the unrandom. And the games I play favor that usually. The other thing I like about old school role-playing, and I never noticed this detail, new role-playing games basically balance it out. So, if you have 5 heroes, the bad guys you're fighting are kind of balanced so that, you know, they're not going to kill you. I mean, if you make mistakes, you'll lose. The way I play the game is how real life works. Nothing's equal, nothing's even, nothing's balanced. For instance, if you're going to fight a bad guy, in the game. Let's say the players are going to go fight some overlord in a cave. Well, there might be monsters in that cave that can kill the entire group in one turn. And I don't tell them about that. I might give them a little warning, like, be careful. But I want them to be able to know that if they make a wrong decision, they all die. And now the game has a whole new level rolling. People are really careful with their decisions because they know they'll die, and it lets them know that it is unfair, and they better be smart, and they better make good decisions, and they better plan ahead and react, not react, respond. When things happen, really stop and try to process what to do, and not just react to things, as if it's real life. If you knew you had to go fight a dragon with 5 friends, and that the dragon had 4 breath weapon attacks that each do 100 points of damage. 4 times the dragon can go and do 100 points of damage to anybody who's in the way. That will kill the entire party. These are the challenges I present my teams. Why? Well, they got to be smart. They got to plan ahead. They got to go over the edge. Oh, what's this? Ooh. I love it. I like random characters because it forces you to go into a new place in your mind. You might be playing a part you never wanted to play. You know? A lot of people like, I don't want to play a cleric. And then all of a sudden they're playing a cleric and they love it. You know? So, the idea of a role-playing game and a virtual world, which I love doing role-playing games. I do not like role-playing games online. I don't like that when you're playing online, you know that there's this giant map of a world you can explore, but it really does have a border. And unless the game designers add more, you ain't going out of that border. When you play a role-playing game, it's not like that. If my players want to go outside the border, it can happen. And I will make it happen. And that's my challenge, is to develop now more areas for them to go to. It's all me. I'm the computer. I never liked video games. I mean, I have a video game system in my home that's one of those console stand-up machines. And I like it because it makes me feel like I'm in an arcade. And I never play more than 20, 30 minutes. It's a very short and sweet experience. Or if there's friends over, we'll play two-player games. I never sit in front of my TV, and I never sit and watch and play video games. I don't do it. Never did. Never liked it. Now, the title of tonight's show, which I where is it? Here it is. Hi, news pick. Toxic reality. I called it toxic reality for, I was being, I was using it in a few different ways. Virtual reality, I wanted to talk about. The meta. The putting on a helmet and looking around the room. So we have an apartment that's was available in my home that we own that just got rented out. Someone took it. But before it got rented, we cleaned it and painted and got it ready. My son heard that we had an empty apartment, and he goes, "Oh, let's take the virtual up there. You'll be able to walk around the room. There's no furniture." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So he put me in the machine, and he gave me the gadgets for my hands, and here I am playing Resident Evil 4 in virtual mode. And I had never done this before, but I mean, when you want to grab your gun, you literally go like that, and you have a gun. And when you want to load it, you get a clip and load it. I mean, it feels real. So within 15 to 20 minutes of me walking around the room, looking through doorways, shooting at things, hiding, right? I mean, dude, it's real. And I don't know if you know this, but because the camera's on the helmets, it knows where the real walls are. So if you get close to the real wall, you get to see a ghost image of the wall in the video game land, so you don't run into the wall. And you get used to it. You're like, all right, the real wall's there, but I see through it at the land before me. The thing that's weird, and I mean really weird, and this is why it was so profound that, well, wait till you hear what I'm going to say, Ruth, because Ruth just said on the chat, and if you're new to the show, read the chat. It's the best part. VR makes me puke. So if you wear the helmet for a long time, and let's say in 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you can hit a thing so that you can see with the helmet on, but you're seeing a digital version of the world. So like if I hold the cup up, you see it, but it's like a digital looking cup, even though you're looking through the helmet. Here's what's crazy. I've been doing it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I take the helmet off. Your eyes are like, whoa. You take the things off your hands, and then you realize that this real world is the same thing. It's a simulation. It's the same. It's just your brain's doing it now. But it's the same. And for me, it was like, oh my God, is this even real now? Like, who am I? Like, how do I know that my thoughts in my brain aren't being, you really feel matrixy. Because the virtual thing is the same thing. I'm moving my hands, I see them, I feel them. I have a machine in my fingers that can feel the vibrations, right? So now my brain is like going into this existentialistic nightmare of, wait, the virtual world that I was just having fun in, I take it off, and because I did it for so long, the real world now feels kind of phony. because I'm noticing that it is the same. It works the same. It's just a primitive version. The virtual land that I was in the video game, once they have a glove that you put your hand in, that each part of the glove can feel that. Like, I'll be able to feel me doing that in virtual land. That's totally possible. We just don't have it yet. Is it possible? Yes! Are they going to make it happen like that? Yes! They might even take it one step farther, where you don't have to put your hand in a glove. It'll be something in your brain that stimulates the part of your brain that will feel that. Right? Is this all possible? Yes. They even have primitive versions of these things. And as technology cranks faster, we're definitely getting that stuff. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that these virtual worlds will be real. And they are real. Meta. There'll be different versions of these, quote, meta worlds that you can hang out in and live and work. You'll be able to go to work in a virtual land, put the helmet on, and deal with customers and sell them things. There will also be a virtual version of the real world, meaning if you want to travel somewhere, Germany. I want to go to Berlin and go to the museum. Well, you can do that virtually. I haven't seen Ready Player One yet, but I heard it's that story. This is what it is. Now, what does this all mean? I don't know. It's definitely going in that direction. They're definitely going to, quote, make it fun. As soon as something's fun, we don't mind. We don't mind being spied on. We don't mind being listened to on our devices. We don't care. Why? Because it's fun. Give me convenience or give me death. If you give people convenient items that make life easier, they don't care if they lose some freedoms. Right? They don't care. Why should anybody care? Who cares? I care. And the reason why I care, and I always remind this to people, and this is how, if anybody wants to know my take on any issue out there, right? Here's how I do it. And you can do the same. And if you want to know how I feel about anything, just do this. I assume that anything that happens, like a law, a mandate, a political movement, a pop culture movement, a fashion, anything. It's just the whole world. I assume that whatever it is, if I pick it up and I put it on top of the people I don't like, the people that I deem to have values that are counter my values, will I be okay with what's going on? And then I pick it up and I put it on the people that I do like. Will I be okay if they're doing that and using those rules? Yeah. How about these people? No, I would not be okay. Then I cut it out. That's how I am. That's it. That's literally how I, yeah. Amazon. Yeah. So that's how I evaluate laws and anything. It's like, for instance, free speech law. Okay. We should ban hate speech, let's say, is the argument. Okay, well, what hate speech? All right, these words, this type of hate. All right, cool. Now, that power to do that, if you gave it to a world leader you don't like, are you okay with him doing it? And if their answer is no, then there it is. Then you can't do it. That's how I evaluate everything. Does it always end up working out good that way? And no is the answer. But I'm okay with that. I prefer that than the other. Because the other, you're assuming everybody's good and going to take what you're letting them do and use it for the good. That's the assumption. I don't assume that. I do not assume that. Some people might. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but Amazon, and I'm going to end on this. People don't realize how Amazon makes money and how Amazon's able to offer free shipping, which is an amazing service. And it has nothing to do with subscriptions. It doesn't have anything to do with them ordering bulk. They make money off of independent dealers that want to sell on their website, and they charge them a high percent. And if you let Amazon handle certain elements of the business, the shipping end and stuff, that they're making money on that. So to me, Amazon is a little bit like the book publisher that makes more money off of the authors than it does selling books. They exist. I'm sure you've all seen them. Ruth, you probably know about this. You're in the book publishing business. Some of these weird, quote, small self-publishing places rob the authors. They're like, hey, we're going to publish you, but you got to pay money for this thing and that thing. And then, yeah, they're making money off of authors, not readers. To me, the other's that way too. Amazon's making money not by selling product at a cheaper, buying bulk. They're making money off of letting people sell things on their website, which is weird. Again, it's bad for small businesses. It puts them in a rat race they can't win. And if you're a small business selling something that you made or like that, there's a knockoff. People do that. They buy a product on Amazon, send it to China, have it copied, and then put the knockoff up. All right, cool. You made a lot of money, but you have inferior product, and now the guys that are the creators aren't making money, and now they're not creating. So now you have a land of copycats and no creators. Bad. Bad. Bad, 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 bad. Wow. Dude, does anybody have anything to say? I mean, my brain is ready to explode. I honestly, the Oscars blew my mind, only in the sense that it was the exact thing you could predict would happen. Like, the most extreme on all accounts. Really. I was going to say something. So, I'll end on this story. This is a personal story. Just like Will Smith screaming at the top of his lungs in this fancy Academy Awards ceremony happening right, live television, fancy pants, and this crazy thing happens, and no one gets out of their seat. No one says anything. No one does anything. Everybody's like, what do we do? I was in Tompkins Square Park. I don't know. My kid must have been 8. So this is 12 years ago. Ooh. So, we're in the park. Bunch of little kids playing. Swings, sliding board, whatnot. And there's a bunch of high school kids playing. Big kids. Boys, a couple girls on the swings. Total what we would say horseplay. Throwing each other, smashing into things, being loud. And one of the parents is like, yo, why? They shouldn't be in here. This is crazy. There's little tiny kids in here. So one of the parents went over and was like, hey, get out. And he got in his face, and the kid, I saw it. I was like, oh, the kid just slugged him, and he fell. And I was like, oh my God, he just knocked out one of the parents. So I was like, all right, this can't happen. This is crazy now. So there was one way out of the park, and there was a really high fence in that area. We were on Avenue B side. And so I'm like, oh, I'm going to stop this kid. I'm going to tackle him. Now, he was bigger than me, but I went into fight mode. And so I was trying to get the guy, and he ran around me and out the gate. So now I look around and bolt, and I chased him through the park, onto Avenue A, and down another 2 to 3 blocks. Well, I couldn't catch him. Oh, yeah, great shows, especially last year, the Murphy's Law show. He's gone, and I'm like, man, I can't believe it. That kid just knocked out a parent. So I walk back, and I go back. All the parents are still sitting right where they were. They were didn't move. And I was shocked. Not one person got up to help. I was mortified. I was like, wow, glad I never got hurt, bunch of wimps. Really, the most wimpy thing I've ever seen. Like, wow, God, I hope there's no conflicts here and you guys have to be my battle buddies. Jeez. Terrible. Yeah, Jason, if there's anybody, first of all, the Academy has a policy that you're not allowed to be violent to another, right? Doesn't the venue have a policy? Just the venue alone. Like, you can't go up and slap the MC. You're out. Done. Nothing. They're beyond that. Will Smith is beyond that. I would like it if Will Smith tried to do that at my show. I'll call his woman bald to see what he does. I don't care. He ain't going to slap me and get away with it. That would never happen. That would never happen. If he slapped me, I would most likely retaliate right then and there. And if I didn't retaliate, I would destroy him with my words. Destroy. Not make a cute, clever out. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. Well, I mean, I didn't even, it wasn't even a thought, Francis, it was just like, it has to be stopped. Like, you can't just knock out the parents in the park and run away and get away with it. Well, he got away with it. I just reacted to that, dangerous situation. My kid was in the park too. There's a time and place for reacting, and there's a time and place for when not to react. The fact that Will Smith laughed at the joke and then that happened to me says a lot. And it also says a lot, which again, no one noticed. Watch it. Watch his walk after the slap. He has a confident step and a smirk. He thought he was being clever and funny. And on that, I'm going to read something and bounce. I think they're going to take his Oscar. You guys know how I'm always saying that clever's bad? I say it all the time. I don't like clever in art. I don't like it when someone's trying to be clever, right? I'm always saying it. If you want to make good art, try to pull out the clever bits, and then you'll have a good piece. So reading this book, it's just called Collected Maxims. La Rochefoucauld, the author. He only wrote this book, but he's kind of popular. Listen to this quote. This is him, what I think is him shitting on clever. Too much refinement is a false subtlety. And true subtlety is a well-founded refinement. That's it. I've been looking forever for someone to explain it. There it is. He says, too much refinement is false subtlety. Because it's being clever. It's your ego overdoing it. And true subtlety, or true cleverness, let's say, like something really subtle and interesting, is well-founded refinement. It means, first of all, he uses the word well-founded. I would say organic, meaning it organically grew out of the process and then was refined. I'll read it one more time. It's a great quote. Listen to this. Too much refinement is false subtlety, and true subtlety is a well-founded refinement. Amy Schumer is clever, Jason just said. Yes, she is, and that's why I hate her comedy. It's garbage. It's only clever. It's all she has to sell is a clever joke she didn't write. Her comedy team wrote it. So it's really not organic because it's not even from her natural humor. It's a joke somebody's planting in. Bye. Not art. In my world, that's not art anymore. I like real art, meaning concepts. People come up on their own and make it something. And that's not that. Yeah, I tried to watch an Amy Schumer comedy special once. And it's like 8th grade little boy humor by an Upper East Side rich kid doing the same humor. That's all it seemed like. Like, not funny. It would only be funny if you're like another Upper East Sider, like laughing at the irony of the situation, right? Not funny. Wow. I was that a ranting episode? I don't know. It's almost 10 after her team stole it. Well, look up Amy Schumer steals jokes and you'll see a lot. I don't think she steals them. I think her writers steal them. Yeah, she doesn't even know about them. She's out of it. Robin Williams was a joke stealer. And he admitted it. He apologized. Wow, I think tonight was a little bit of a rant. I'm talked out. Yeah, I had fun tonight. I really wanted to kind of talk about it in detail. Because I see everybody saying stuff. It needs to be detailed. Really, like, I try to think about each angle of the story and what they might have been going through in that moment. And I think I see what Will Smith went through. I can kind of... Oh, I know. When I was saying if it was rehearsed or not. Some people are saying it was rehearsed. Well, studying the acting and the moment and what happened, it looks pretty not rehearsed. They are actors, so who knows? But honestly, it could be part, meaning like Will Smith knew he was going to do it and the other guy didn't. You know, he kind of planned it. That's possible. It doesn't look planned. Oh, I'm sorry, I just burped on live internet. Thank you, Neon. If I was going to plan out that I heard he was going to make fun of my bald wife, I wouldn't have first laughed and then done that. I would have been waiting for the joke, and then he's like, your wife's bald, G.I. Jane. And then you're like, hey, take that back. He could have done that. Like, yo, don't make fun of my wife or I'll hit you. Right? I mean, if it was rehearsed, I just don't see... I mean, it could have been like, look, you're going to make this joke, and then I'm going to walk up and do this funny, like, slap, and I don't know. It is possible. It's not impossible. I mean, there are staged things like that in those shows. Y'all, I don't know if you remember Michael Jackson kissing Lisa Marie Presley. Clearly staged. Wow, thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you, Neon. Thank everybody. Thank you. I had a great time tonight. Yeah, right. Dan. He should have either punched him back or did a Bill Burr where he destroys him with his words to the point where Will Smith looks like a loser and voluntarily leaves. There it is right there. Or what if Chris Rock gets slapped and he verbally put a curse on Will Smith and the Academy right there and left? I would pay to see that. Thank you, Amanda. I really do love the audience in here. You guys are great. Basement. Yeah, I'm going to bounce. I got food to eat, more drinks to be had, and I had a great time. I'm this Wednesday, I'm having a music rehearsal for a project I'm working on. I might do a broadcast, what do you call it? Instagram on Wednesday evening, later in the night. So keep your eyes open. If you're new to this channel, hit the like and subscribe. Yeah, he was up for his biggest award and he did that. I mean, I'm sure his emotions were jacked. Yeah, folks, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you're new, tell your friends. If you're the type that likes to donate, by golly, go right ahead. I do this full time and it goes right back into my life and show. I perform full time and this is one of the outlets I have. Other than that, tell your friends. It's the only thing we have is word of mouth. I love doing these because of the audience. I really do. I like sitting here chatting with smart people that throw ideas out that make me want to go learn more. Yeah, that would have been epic, right, Dan? So let's pray for some hot weather. Let's get it moving. I'm ready. I'm sick of winter. I want summer. And, yeah, I'm going to take us out with the outro. What's this say? It's like Lucy from Peanuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love it. You guys are great. Thank you very much, and I'll see you right here. This was episode 116, Evening Hour Live. My name is Cardone, and I'll see you right here live next week. Party on, everybody. And end credits.